Am I the asshole for telling my parents that I never asked for a brother? When my dog passed away last month, my brother said, "I know how you feel. I felt the same way when Iron Man died. I just stared at him before telling him he must be dumb as rocks if he thinks he can compare my dog to a fictional character." He then said, "It's only a dog." Though, at that point I said some harsh stuff to him. I told him he is only someone who has the same parents as me, and doesn't mean anything more than that. And that I never cared about him. I didn't mean it. Of course, I did used to care about him before what he said when my dog died. But I was angry. I wanted to lash out. I wanted to just shout at him and get him out of my place. I no longer want him in my life. Our parents later told me I shouldn't have treated him, my little brother, that way. And that they raised me better than that. They told me that I should apologize since he's my brother, so I told them that I never asked them for a little brother. They seemed really hurt. Did I go too far? Honestly, I thought you both were 20 years younger than the ages you listed from that description. I felt sad too when Iron Man died. I used to love him before he said that. Why are you two having a young teenager drama? These ages don't make sense. Grow up. He's 22 and little stupid with his joke, but you 34 telling your parents I didn't ask for a little brother, it's almost petulant. What a weird thing for him to say, but my god, what an and immature thing for you 34 meters to say to him and your parents. You both sound like children. And you're both the R. You and your family sound exhausting. For someone who is 34. And your brother 22. You both seem to have the emotional control of a child. I get that he said something hurtful while you're grieving. But then you turn round and say things to potentially ruin your relationship with your brother is an overreaction. I know the saying is drunk minds speak sober thoughts. But I think it applies to anger as well. You don't say something with that much hate and not have some amount of truth behind those feelings. I guarantee your brother felt that. If you were 6, I'd say not the asshole. But 34. I'm a dog lover and cut my sister's hair for calling my dog ugly. I was 4. You could have made your point that he was being insensitive and unwelcome without completely losing your shush. You went too far. You're the asshole. You're both grown-ass men. Stop acting like toddlers. Grief isn't a competition. Holy shit, you're 34. I feel bad for Yal's parents. You sound shockingly immature. It's really insensitive for him to say it's just a dog brew, and you're an asshole for saying what you did. What? Your parents need your permission to have kids. It was out of pocket and you know it. Apologize to him. Even if he doesn't act your age, he'll realize how dumb he was for saying that, if he hasn't already. Our parents later told me I shouldn't have treated him my little brother. Little brother? He's 22. Your brother thinks he's tough or funny to make such a boneheaded remark like that and then runs to mommy and daddy because you were mean. Your parents for treating him like an infant when he is clearly an adult. And expecting you to treat him like an 8-year-old. You for saying that to your parents. You could have taken a different tact, although I get why you didn't and just said that everyone can agree to disagree. Your brother's comment wasn't sympathetic and should know the difference between something in real life dying and a character. But your retaliation was also juvenile. Given your ages. You're the asshole. Are you really 34? You both sound about 20 years younger than the ages you stated. WTF lol, yes, you're the asshole. You both seem to lack moral intelligence, maybe the parents are the Rs. Info, did you make typo on age? I really wanted to say grow up and then realized you're a whole ass 34-year-old. Your brother is an idiot but you're acting like a 6-year-old. I wouldn't want to deal with any of y'all's bullshit IRL. He shouldn't have said what he said. It was cold and insensitive. But completely ripping into him and telling him that he's only your brother because you have the same parents. That's just vicious, I get it. I have lost family members. Dogs included. But that was a massive overreaction. Especially if he hasn't lost anyone or anything close to him like that. He was a weirdo for comparing your dog's death to a fictional character and a dick for saying, "It's just a dog." But you could have just called him out for the dick he was being and ended it. Instead you went on a weird tirade lying that you never cared about him. You are a grown man. Cheap emotional attacks should be left in your teens. Your brother is dumb as dog shit. And you can say so. Don't resort to other petty attacks. My thoughts exactly. I had to double-check the ages here. They're 15-20 years older than I thought they would be by the post. I get it. You're hurting, and what he said was awful. But you went nuclear with that response. Everyone telling OP to grow up. His brother was also an adult and should know better. You were hard on him, but I will give you a pass because you are grieving. People who have never owned pets just don't understand. I once read that 90% of pet owners tell their fur babies every single day that they love them. I wonder what percentage of people say the same to their spouses. He lacks empathy, and your response to that lack of empathy is to try and hurt him as much as possible. When your parents called you on it, you tried to hurt them as much as possible. You escalate disproportionately. This is coming from a dog lover. If my brother was dismissive of my dog death, I would be pissed and insist on an apology. I wouldn't wish he had never been born. Both of you need to grow up. Your brother was unbelievably insensitive to compare his reaction to the death of a fictional character to the death of your real dog. However, your reaction was way out of proportion and completely inappropriate. Both of you sound like you have zero emotional intelligence. You are both assholes. Not the asshole. But is he okay? Seems aberrant. Also, it was sad when Iron Man died, but I reacted worse to John Wick's dog getting killed. Sorry about your pup. Mine is 15 and I'm just dreading the day. You're both mentally stunted AF. As a parent, my reaction would be, if one of my children said something like that, to roll my eyes and think, OFFS. He said that and he's 34 years old. Your brother is an R. For what you said, you are R. And your parents are R because of their reaction. Stay away from each other. Both of you can stand to mature. Also, sorry for your loss. For God's sake, you guys are both adults. At least behave like it. Is my verdict. And grow up. Your parents failed both of you. Your brother is immature, and you're just a mean person.